Hello and welcome everyone. Thaddeus here. And this is part 2 of my audio didn't get recorded overdub. So in the last episode, we placed our warehouse civic structure. And now we need to get some warehouse expansion modules in order to actually store our items within the warehouse. So here we've got the adept researcher still working on the civilian engineering. And we need to make sure that we have the right research ready to go. So civilian engineering 4 is what gives us access to the large warehouse expansion that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and put our researcher to work, making sure that we have the research necessary to get this going. So let me just grab all of the items that we need. And this one here does take 3 minutes, which is why I'm going to be using a researcher to get this done. That way I don't have to stand here for 3 minutes, and you guys don't have to watch it for 3 minutes, because that would be awfully boring. So there is one more thing that I want to go ahead and make. And this is going to require another NPC. So I'm going to get a craftsman. And in order to make a craftsman, I need to get a couple of things. One of them is going to be a hammer. Craftsman uses the hammer as his tool, basically, for doing his job. So let me go ahead and get this basic hammer. And each tier of craftsman requires a better tool. So let's go ahead and get a craftsman. Put our book in. Go ahead and look him up. Novice craftsman requires the basic hammer and 1 piece of paper and 4 food rations. So what I'm going to be using this craftsman for is to build our warehouse expansion modules. Because I don't want to stand here and make them all by myself. Forgot my book. Always got to make sure you have a book. If you have plenty of resources, excuse me, if you have plenty of resources, you could have a book in every one of your stations. So this requires just 2 chests, 8 iron, and 2 paper. So it gets a little expensive on the iron when you start building a lot of these large expansions. So what I've done is I've connected a hopper to this engineering station. And then I went ahead and I prepped a whole bunch of materials to make 9 of the large warehouse expansion modules. And I can just put all of these items into the hopper and they'll go directly into the engineering station. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab the rest of the resources. So you can see that for 9 of these modules it takes a stack of iron ingots plus 8 more. So if you have a some type of ore doubling mechanic, it's not going to be too bad, but without an ore doubling mechanic it definitely gets expensive. And this is one of the reasons why Shadow Mage is considering putting in some type of ore doubling mechanic into Ancient Warfare. So now we just have to wait for the rest of the resources to filter in, and we can go ahead and put down our craftsman. And he runs away for some reason, who knows. Sometimes these NPCs are kind of silly. So now I'm just going to tell him where he can get his food and tell him to get to work. So he's going to come over here to the engineering station. He's going to use that hammer, and he's going to start building these large warehouse expansion modules for me. They don't take very much time to make. And I can just keep adding more resources into that hopper if I choose, and he'll just keep building until I tell him to stop. So if I wanted to build a lot of the same thing, I could set up an auto crafting table to make, say, chests or paper, and then I could feed the output of that directly into the engineering station, and they would just keep getting built. And there's also an alchemy station that can be used to make items like cement, which is used for building reinforced bricks. So right now, just kind of waiting to get a couple of these warehouse expansions built. And okay, looks like we've got 3. So let's go ahead and go, and I'll show you how to put these into the area that we have designated. And you can see that you can't access anything on these expansion modules without the warehouse civic building. They're just blocks. So we'll go inside and we'll go underground into where I'm going to be putting all of these expansion modules. So here is our bounding box that we have set up, and let's just go ahead and start putting these in. You can see that we have no size so far. So we put down 3 of these, and now we have 81 stacks of storage space with 3 filled. So each one of those adds 9 9 stacks, or I mean 27, I think it is, 27 times 3. So that's not too bad. So now what I need to do is I need to get this set up to feed directly from our storage chest to go straight into our warehouse building. So let me go and hop down here so that I can get access to the bottom of that chest. So we just put that there and things will automatically start filtering in. So eventually what's going to happen is we're going to empty out that obsidian chest, and with the not filter pipe, but the what is that? Is that a ration pipe? I don't remember what kind of pipe that is. But that one says that anything that doesn't go anywhere else can go into this chest as long as it's empty, or if it already exists. So once this chest gets completely emptied out, anything new that we throw into the system, it will see this as an empty chest, and it'll go in there and then down into the warehouse. So the goal here is to basically always have an empty chest there, and anything that we have a barrel for, we want the stuff to go into the barrel first, and then if it can't find a place to put anything, it'll go into our empty chest here, which will then go into the warehouse and also keep that chest empty. So anything new that comes into the system will automatically go into our warehouse. So you can see that it's filling up pretty well. We've got 11 stacks or 11 blocks worth of stuff already in there. So let's go see how many more of these warehouse expansions our craftsman has made. And looks like our researcher's done because he's standing around. And I'm just going to go and grab some more resources to throw into the hopper there to get him building more. So far he's built all 9 of the expansion blocks that we wanted. So I'm just going to throw in a bunch more resources here for him. I am going to need to throw in some more chests, and basically we just have to wait for all 3 of the resources he needs to get in there. So let's go and build a bunch more chests here to throw in there, because we're going to want a lot of these storage modules. From what I know currently, you can get about 3,000 storage for your the largest size on the warehouse. So that's pretty good. If you needed even more storage, there are other ways that you could add that. Now I'm looking here and we just did Civilian Engineering 4, but it's still saying Civilian Engineering 4. So I don't know why it was doing that. I think my book did not sync up properly, because I know we'd already done Civilian Engineering 4, and here it's not saying Civilian Engineering 4, it's only saying Civilian Engineering. So since I'm recording this audio after the fact, I'm not sure if right now I'm about to take the book out or if I take it out at a later time. But for some reason it was not syncing properly. So it looks like later on in this episode I'll be pulling that book out to make sure that it syncs. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if our chest is empty now. Let's see, I think I'm just looking for some more string here. Yep, there's some more string. And let's make some more paper. Okay, 3 stacks of paper should be enough. And another stack of wood to make some more chests. And let's go make sure that we've got all the resources we need to keep making some more of these expansion modules. So let's see, last night was Saturday night, and Toski was doing a bit of live streaming. There was an issue with his internet, so he didn't get he had posted that he was going to cancel it, but we did do a little bit of streaming, and we actually went onto the Project Red Dog server to play with some of those guys there. They have a kind of a mini game server set up there, so that was a lot of fun. Let's see, let's go ahead and I guess we'll sleep through the night to make sure these guys are working. You have plenty of food in there, so that's not going to be a problem. And let's go and grab some charcoal there and see about making some more torches. Got plenty of wood in here, so everything seems to be working out pretty nicely with this setup. And these guys are working, which is what I like to see. If you don't have any work for them to do, you're really better off to just pack them up so that they don't stand around there and just eat all your food. Whether they have work to do or not, they still get hungry. So we should have plenty of torches here now for future research. Plenty of paper. And so we've got quite a few of these warehouse expansion modules now. And let's go see how much storage space these are going to give us. So this will give us a total of 11 now, because we've already got 3 downstairs. And then we're going to go ahead and add 8 more. And that gives us a total of 297 stacks worth of storage. That oak wood and there's a couple of other things that were going in there that really shouldn't go in there. And there's basically what I needed to do was force my filtering system to only go in one direction. So basically, because I didn't tell it to only go in a specific sequence, sometimes things would find this is an available inventory before it found the inventory location where I actually wanted it to go. So I will be fixing that. So you can see that everything there is just kind of going to all of them without a specific order. If you look at the piping network that I have set up there. Let's see, steam boiler, it's using up all the steam that it's getting basically as soon as it gets it. So because I don't have that backup, it's kind of limited as far as how fast the pump in the nether can work. So that keeps it from overheating in the nether, which is really nice. But I do have a plan for the future to change that up and make it a bit more efficient and also easier to control. So let's go ahead and check back in with our workers here. So these guys do the work, but you do still have to kind of keep tabs on them because once they're done, they will just stand around. So here we go. He's got 40 seconds left on that civilian engineering again. This guy here is getting his work done. He's got another 6 more of those expansion modules. And we're just going to go ahead and add a little bit more paper in there to make sure we've got enough. Make it a nice even number. So as it is, he's got enough materials to make 8 more. And it doesn't really take very long to make these. With just the worker, it's like about 8 or 9 seconds. Okay, maybe 12. And then if I'm looking in it at the same time, it gets produced even faster. So that's not really a whole lot of time. And if you're familiar with the applied energistics system, these blocks kind of represent your disks in the storage module for applied energistics. So here we are, we're looking at Civilian Engineering 4 being completed again, and it's still showing up for some reason. And I've done it twice now. And it's not showing me Civilian Engineering 5, which allows us to make the large town hall. And so for some reason, it just wasn't showing it. It wasn't recognizing that I had completed it. So let's go ahead and repack that researcher because he's really not doing anything for me right now. I've got everything I need to make what I want to make. So I'll have to get that fixed later. So let's go ahead and grab these, or not. We got 13 in there now. So it looks like we're going to make a quick trip into the nether. So I guess we'll go see how that endothermic pump is working out. So you can see that it's really expanding the area here. And we can hear that the steam engine is still working. And that rolling machine has been doing a pretty nice job of siphoning off some of the extra power that's been being produced here. This thing's been going for quite a while and it hasn't had any problems with overheating. So we can look out here and this thing is expanding very nicely. So I'm probably going to be going and looking for that sunstone here really soon. I'm thinking about maybe setting up some type of a quarry system here in the nether. I can use netherrack to either make more nether brick, or I can actually use it to make gunpowder. Ah, boogers, get out of here. And this pick is so fast. You can see that adding that redstone just makes it tear through this netherrack. So if you want to clear out an area, this is a good way to go about it. Alright, so I think it's time to kind of turn this lava off so that I don't have to keep worrying about it. Oh, ouch. I guess it just needed a block update in order for it to start spewing out all over the place. So let's go and make it so I can at least walk around here. Here we go. Let's go ahead and close this off. And then at some point I need to get up top and go ahead and shut that off at the top where the lava is actually coming down from. I'll get to that a little bit later. Right now I just want to be able to move around safely down here. There we go. Goodbye, lava. Just got to be real careful with this pickaxe because it tears through this stuff so fast. There we go. So somewhere up there is where that lava is coming from, and I'll get up there eventually and get that taken care of so I don't have to worry about it at all. But we can see that this is really clearing out all of this lava, which is really nice because without this pump here, there wouldn't really be any way for me to clear that out. Still looking good. Probably going to run out of steam power in the overworld pretty soon. So I need to go put some more fuel into my fuel box. But yeah, it's looking really nice here. Alright, so what else do we need to go check out? Steak. Alright, also if you look in the lower right hand corner, you'll see that my affinity is almost at 50%. So once I reach 50% on that, then I'll be able to actually use my affinity boosts. And I'll show you that here pretty soon once I actually get that up to 50%. Alright, so back to the overworld. And it always seems to be nighttime. I don't know why that is. Just lucky, I guess. So in we go. Let's go ahead and make sure everything's filtering properly. Yep, good. And there's the silver nuggets I just threw into the ender pouch. So I kind of don't like the way some of this is just sitting out here as far as the blocks. And why are we getting charcoal in there? So you see that that's kind of sticking out pretty far. So I threw that charcoal back in there and let's see what happens. Try and figure out why that was going into the warehouse. So that's our sorting pipe. So I'm kind of looking at how my piping system is set up. And that's not almost full of charcoal. So that's doing pretty well. Let's check our fuel here. Yeah, so we just ran out of charcoal there. So I definitely want to keep that thing running in the nether. Let's see how much lava we've got in here. Well, 8,000 buckets. So it's still got a little bit of expansion, or a little bit of space there. I do need to go ahead and expand or enlarge my steel tank there. And I'll get to that in the near future. I'm going to go ahead and turn that into the largest size that it can possibly go. So right now it already holds 12,000 buckets, which is a lot. So we've got 20 more large warehouse expansions. Just need to throw a couple more chests in there if I want any more made. So maybe I'll go and I'll make another one. Or maybe several. Alright, let's just go and throw these in there. Of course, it's nighttime, so he's not going to work for a while, but that's okay. So it looks like we are starting to get a little close to the wrapping up point. So let's go ahead and get some more of this stuff put in downstairs. Some more netherrack. So I'm thinking about changing where and how I'm storing some of this stuff, because netherrack just went through my sorting system and it should have gone into that barrel. So it's kind of interesting to be doing the voice part of this after I've already recorded the episode, just because it you know, I know some of the things that I've done, and as far as how things are working. So here I'm just kind of trying to give it more room so that it's further in line. And so here I'm going to go ahead and change the way this sorting system works so that it's going in a specific direction, and so that the entry into our warehouse there is absolutely the last location. So we just need to make sure that we have it pointing in the right direction. There we go. And then same thing over here. There we go. Just trying to make sure I can see which way it's going to go there. Okay, and then this one here needs to go towards our chest. There we go, a couple of hits, and still need to hit this one. Oops, past it. So I need it to not connect on the right side. There we go. So now it can only go one way. So that means as it's searching, it's going to find all of the barrels first. And if it can't put anything into a barrel, then the last location it can go to is through our sorting pipe there and into our obsidian chest. But I really don't like the way that thing is sitting out there. So I'm going to go ahead and redesign that. Which at this point I think is going to require me to move our ender chest. I just kind of don't like the way everything is sitting there. So if I'm going to do it, it's nighttime and my quarry's not running, so now would be the time to do it. And because of that transfer node sitting on top, it makes it really hard for me to access the inventory of the warehouse from there. So I think I need to go ahead and put that transfer node connection on the back side of the warehouse block. In order to do that, I'm going to have to change a few things around and make sure that my pipes don't go and connect to things that I don't want them to connect to. So if we take this, and I'm going to have to go ahead and move some of these pipes around and move the position of that chest. So if I put that there, now it's connected to the rest of the system and it's going right back into everything else. And that's not what we want. So let's try connecting it this way and see what we can do. Okay, so that works there. And then I would have to change the direction of this pipe here so that it doesn't connect to where we're pulling out with that other transfer pipe. So that'll do it, but it still kind of looks ugly to me. It's too many pipes kind of sitting out there, things hanging out, just kind of in the way, and does not look good to me. So let's go and figure out how we can make this look a little bit better. Well, I think at this point, I'm probably going to finish changing this off screen just because we are past the wrapping up point, and I definitely need to kind of play around with it, and I don't want you guys to have to sit there and watch me figure out how I'm going to do it. I'll show you how I do that in the next episode. So thanks for watching, everybody.